The poll question is, who is the best backup quarterback in the Canadian Football League right now? And your options for Yorkton Kia are Drew Brown of the Blue Bombers, Mason Fine of the Rough Riders, Dane Evans of the BC Lions, and Dustin Crum of the Ottawa Red Blacks. And leading the way is Drew Brown of the Bombers. And actually, Darrin Bauming is football first, so let's put that to him. You just heard the options. Best backup in the CFL: Drew Brown, Mason Fine, Dane Evans, Dustin Crum. Is Brown as good as he showed in Edmonton the other night, Bomber, or is it because he was playing for the Winnipeg Blue Bomber machine?
Yeah, or was it because he was playing against Edmonton, right? I think, and I've been saying this for a year, Drew Brown will be a starter in the Canadian Football League sooner or later. He has shown it every time he has stepped on the field. He has helped the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in games past win football games. There was an instance early last year where Zach Collaros went down to injury, needed to sit out 3 plays, as per CFL rules, and Drew Brown came in and they kept him in. And he led them to a touchdown drive that capped a win. So he is incredibly poised. He is incredibly talented. I'm told he is incredibly smart. And I think, this was just the latest example of Drew Brown showing what he can do when, he has an offense at the controls.
What was the Bombers' take on the hit on Zach Collaros, and how is he? B, did you ever think they were going to lose that game in Edmonton, and the upset of the century would happen? And 3, what's the outlook looking ahead to Week 11?
Did I ever think they were going to lose? No, because I know that the resilience of this Mike O'Shea coached Blue Bombers team is very strong. Mike O'Shea said as much, in his post-game interview on the host radio broadcaster here in Winnipeg, that the bench was calm. The bench was very workmanlike energy, were the words Mike O'Shea used after that win. And, it is the Edmonton Elks. I've seen what everybody else has seen and watched all their games this year. They are not a sound football team. They are flawed in a lot of different ways. Are they getting better? Maybe. Maybe a little bit more Trey Ford will help. But overall, I think, the strength of Winnipeg and the weaknesses of the Edmonton Elks, I don't think that game was ever in doubt. As far as Zach Collaros, he is on the field here. This is day 1 of practice at IG Field ahead of the game in Calgary on Friday. But he is not dressed. He is not participating. He is in casual fatigues, blue ball cap and sneakers, and Drew Brown running the Blue Bombers' first team offense. It is day 1. We will see practice on Tuesday. There will be a closed practice on Wednesday, walk through Thursday, of course, ahead of Friday's game. So still lots to be determined. The hit, to answer your third question on Zach Collaros, no, I don't think the team liked it. Mike O'Shea challenged the call, right? And it was ultimately upheld. I believe it was late. I believe it was unnecessary. I also don't think it was egregious. I don't think it was malicious. I think Coney Ely did what he could to slow himself down. But the fact of the matter is the quarterback was horizontal, whether he's holding himself up off the ground or not, he is horizontal and effectively going to be down. I don't think Coney Ely needed to make that much contact with a player that was going to be down. I know it's a bang play. It's football, right? I understand those are really tough adjustments to make in the moment, but I do think it should have been a penalty. I don't know if there'll be supplemental discipline. I don't think so at this point, but no doubt the Blue Bombers did not like the hit, and they're going to hope Zach Collaros is okay long-term here with, half the season to go.
Darrin, you've covered this team a long time. What does this mean that Zach is in sweatpants today? Is it precautionary, or does it mean he won't play Friday night?
Well, I tweeted it at the moment when they ruled Zach Collaros out. I think it was a good sign that he was on the sidelines, and precautionary at best, right? That's what you can hope for, that it is precautionary and that it's not due to something more serious. Is today precautionary? Maybe. Is it cloak and dagger? I wouldn't put it past, this football club, because they've shown that before, that they can, be deceptive in what they show during the practice week, during their open practices. If the story was a little bit different, they would say, hey, Adam Bighill doesn't need to practice. He's a veteran. Willie Jefferson, he's a veteran. He doesn't need to practice. Zach Collaros, he's been there before. He's been there, done that. He doesn't need to practice. So is this precautionary? Possibly, but as the Winnipeg Blue Bombers always do, they're remaining very tight-lipped on the situation, and we're going to get a first opportunity to talk to head coach Mike O'Shea, who will be the one and the only individual who will speak to the status of Zach Collaros. So we'll find out later today.
We have less than 2 minutes, so please, a Winnipeg Jets update or outlook for the season. It's not too far away, Darrin, as you know.
Yeah, it is creeping. It is creeping up. I really don't know if much has changed over the last month. I think it's a very positive move they made in trading Pierre-Luc Dubois. I think the return that they got, some good young players, being able to sign those players to contracts is all a positive thing. The big elephant in the room is their Vezina winning goaltender from 2 years ago or 3 years ago in Connor Hellebuyck, and entering the final year of his contract. That's a big, big thing, a piece of business that needs to be handled. If Connor Hellebuyck doesn't want to sign in Winnipeg, is there a sign and trade? Is there a trade situation? We'll have to see. But indications have led many to believe that a long-term deal in Winnipeg is probably not in the cards. But then you have to find a team that is willing to pay $8.5–9.5 million, somewhere in that range, which is a big chunk of the salary cap. I couldn't even tell you if it's going up or down this year. I think it's going up a little bit, but that's a big chunk of cash to commit to one player long term. But there will be a team that feels they are a goaltender away from a Stanley Cup, so that could be a possibility. Kevin Cheveldayoff's got his work cut out for him.
Always does. Darrin, wonderful update. Thanks for sliding us in, man. Enjoy the week.
Okay, you got it, Rod. Have a great week.
Darrin Bauming from Winnipeg, live from IG Field.